Kamala Harris should sue CNN and fire every single person on her media team tomorrow. I don't know who watched it. I don't know why you would, but Kamala Harris's interview with CNN was one of the most insanely bad interviews I've ever seen. And I know I'm anti Kamala Harris. I think she's a terrible person and a definitely worst candidate. I can't believe it's even a conversation that she might be a president of the United States. It's a travesty that she's a vice president. She is a horrible person and again a horrible presidential candidate. And what she did on what was it last week is just incredible. I don't want to give out dates because I don't know when this is going to be published. But this interview, she has to fire someone. Better be fired for this. You got to watch this video. Anyone who didn't see it, you got to watch part of this and just tell me what you think. Tell me your first impressions. Comment please on this video and tell me your first impressions. This is being shared from X Clandestine. I don't know who that is. I just found this tweet from him. So here you go.
How should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dan, I think
no, we got to get the wide chat.
There's
more about the
there's the wide chat. Look, who framed this? What are they doing? So it looks like, okay, so they're in a cafe because Americana, I guess, an empty cafe because, but I don't know. We're the Harris campaign. We want to, to make it look like, I don't know, like you're not able to be in the same cafe with normal people. Who decided to do this? So I heard there was a rumor that they did this and they said, okay, we're gonna do it in a cafe full of people, and they're like, oh shoot, well actually there's security issues. Really? Then then you got to have people go through a metal detector or something and make sure it's not security issues. Or why not fill it with just their team of protectors, or fill it with their own team who they're also. I can't buy the idea that you couldn't just get people in there. Fill it with your own team who you trust. So someone made a decision to make it an empty background. Okay, that's just the first thing. Though actually, I have to say the first thing you see is that Kamala Harris looks tiny. Has anyone learned anything about framing? Okay, I'm no photographer, but I spent a little bit of time at a broadcasting school, so I learned a little bit about videography. And and I'm really serious about this. If I brought this frame that we're looking at right now, if I brought that to a teacher, I would get an F. That's a fail. You failed. You failed. You failed. The person you're supposed to be paying attention to in the middle, the vice president who's running for president, looks like a midget. And she looks like, look at Tim Walz. I mean, she looks like, someone commented, I don't remember, Matt Walsh maybe. Someone said she looks like she's at a McDonald's interview with her dad. And it's totally what it looks like. I mean, what are they thinking? Again, this is recorded by CNN, which is why I said at the beginning that she should sue CNN for defamation, I think. I mean, because this certainly defamed her character. She looks like a midget. And again, it's just this shot looks so bad that it doesn't take an expert to see that. I don't know how they got away with this. It's just mind-blowing. And we're not even going to really talk about that much about what she said.
That what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward.
But
Dan, I think
do we really need to?
The most
do
important.
We want to look at her any more than we actually have to? No, we don't. And she was terrible. And apparently they recorded 50 plus minutes, 50, and they published, I believe, 18. Her answers on fracking. She lied. She changes her position. She changes her position on the Green New Deal. She's uncomfortable. She's awkward. She's like sitting in her seat, kind of scrunched up. Tim Walz just, again, also doesn't look comfortable. It's like they rushed this interview somehow and decided to publish it because why? And I think she started to really feel the heat because everyone's saying over and over, rightfully so, that she never comes on any media. She never answers any questions. And so I think they felt, okay, we have to do this. And they did it. And it's terrible. But somehow they thought, okay, we're just going to have to run with it. This is good enough. We'll release, a third of it, call it good. It's so bad. This is amateur hour. Guys, this is the woman who wants to be the president of the United States of America. Now, I think the United States of America is diminishing in its world power. I think that's a good thing, actually. I think we need to back off and just, let the world do what it's going to do. Stay strong ourselves, of course. Be ready to defend our own borders, for goodness sake, something Kamala Harris never does. Have an army, have a military that's ready to go if need be, if someone invades. Otherwise, we don't need to be the police of the world. Get out of Germany. Get out of England. Get out of Australia. All these other places. Just go. And Trump was starting to do that. Certainly, he was starting to get more money from the US being the world police. But again, this is a woman who she looks uncomfortable. She looks like she doesn't belong there because she doesn't. I'm sure there are plenty of people here who've gone on interviews that you're kind of surprised you got, right? And you're sitting there and you're like, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I ain't getting this job, right? Why am I here? Why did I do this? Why did dad make me send in the job application? Dad, okay, honey, I'll go with you. I'll go with you, but you got to do most of the talking, okay? Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's so, and this is again going back, a couple weeks ago. Just the introduction to on the stage by Tim Waltz. He looks like a middle aged woman. He just does. Okay, I know it's being personal, but he does not look manly. And it was so much so that I think it was CNN who came out. I think it may have been the same Dana. What's her name? Came out and had to say, well, it's clear that the Harris organization is trying to make sure that the men involved are not too masculine. We want to make sure there's not too much testosterone in this platform. Yep, you think? Yeah. I would venture to guess that Harris has more testosterone than Tim Waltz. Anyway, yeah, it's an absolute sham. It's a disaster. It's a joke. It's actually a joke. Like, I just imagine Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong Un, whoever you want to say, some of these crazy, insane people, leaders from around the world who have nukes, and they're watching that in an interview, like, oh, bring it on, bring it on, because I think again, it's good if the U.S. power shrinks. But you can't do it. You can't just go, one day to the next. That would be too dangerous, right? I mean, you can't just be like, okay, buy all. But you do have to start shrinking. You do have to start saying, look, Germany, you guys start taking care of yourself. Australia, Taiwan, you guys, sorry, we can't take care of you. And if you're overrun, if they take you over, sorry, that's life. What are you supposed to do? If China does just say Taiwan is China, which they do, does the US say, okay, we're going to war? Let's go have tens of thousands of our young men and women killed for Taiwan? It's just not how this is supposed to work. Why should it work that way? Now, okay, if you're talking about a great ally like England and they're being invaded by Russia, all right, I can buy that. If you're justly defending an ally, sure. Isn't Turkey part of the UN? Aren't they part of NATO? And they're just deciding to go to BRICS. They're deciding that, yeah, actually, monetary systems are going to go through Russia, China. Great ally. Thanks a lot, Turkey. Turkey's also the one who said, hey, we ain't holding any of these refugees. They're going right into Europe because we want the worst parts of our culture to destroy the best parts of the Western world. So why are we defending Turkey? What are we doing? Anyway, you know, just again back to this interview. It's so bad. I mean, you can watch. It's like 16 minutes long. It's very watchable, and I think she talks for a total, or maybe that's what it is. She talks for a total of 15 minutes. Sorry if I get the times wrong. It's not long. I can tell you that for sure. She doesn't say much, and what she does say is kind of like, oh man, you do one interview in months, one interview, and you can't answer basic questions. What are you going to do on day one, Kamala? Well, something, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Wouldn't that be great though? Actually, you're going to an interview, for a managerial position, or something. So what would you do in this position, Kevin? I do something. I would do something, and you would love it. You're gonna love it. When I'm the manager, you're gonna love how I handle that situation. No, no, Kevin. Like what? Can you tell? You'd love it. Yeah, you'd love it. I'm really good at this. I'm way better than this other guy. This guy, he's an idiot. I'm really good. Well, but what would you do? You're gonna love it. What a world. What a world. Please, please, somehow don't let that woman be president.